contemplating, your moment has arrived. Lift your head up, stand up tall. No longer can you just survive. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Oh, get up, sister to sister. It's time to make your power move. You are winning, it's just the beginning. Now is your time. Stay focused, keep your chin up. You gotta keep a made up mind.
Hey, everybody. You gotta keep a made up mind. So get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. Get up, sister to sister. It is time to make your power move. Y'all, welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. My name is Mone't S. Horton, and I am the visionary and host. You all know that this is a flow and not what? It's not a show. Y'all, we're excited to have you out here tonight with us. Hey, y'all, I miss you the last week, y'all. We've been taking some time to just, I know I've been taking some time to just kind of slow down, take it on in, and take a rest. But I am so excited to be back tonight. And we are joined, of course, with my super amazing, phenomenal co-host, Tiara Parker. Say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday.
Yes. Happy Monday. Listen, Lady T, I looked at the calendar and I said, wait a minute. We are in Q2 already. Happy April. Happy Monday. Y'all, I don't know if you're waiting for something. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It is time to activate. It is time to start moving in your purpose. It's time to activate whatever is lying dormant. Get moving. Nothing happens until you get excited. I don't know about you, but I feel like I got my second win. My bishop, he's always laughing because I say recalibrated. I'm getting recalibrated. I think every opportunity, every day that we have is an opportunity to do something different, to make sure that you are in alignment with your assignment. So everybody, we're excited to be here with you today. How's your week going? I'm going to say, how your week going so far, Lady T? It's Monday. So
But it's going well so far. God is good. God is faithful. And I'm just grateful. I am in a space of just immense gratitude for all that he continues to do.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, that's a good place to be in. It's just having an attitude of gratitude. And what I'm learning is that every day is necessary, because sometimes we can quickly get consumed with what's going on or what's not going on in life. And it's an opportunity for us to just be thankful. Before I ask you, God, for another thing, before I think about what's on my to-do list, before I start worrying about, what I need to do, what bill has to be paid, whatever, etc. It is. Let me just sit in gratitude. And I'm so grateful for that. And so thank you for that friendly reminder to just be gracious and thankful for where you are. Everybody, we see you coming on in the room. Come on in the room and click and share. Sharing is what? It is caring. Tonight, we have a very special guest who is not a stranger to Sister Talk Power Moves. We are excited to have her back to share her journey with us, as she has been out here making power moves. Even though she has been blazing the trail in her life and in her work, in her career, in the field, in her assignment, her divine assignment. She has stepped into another realm and definitely doing some amazing things. So we're excited to have her back to share the barriers that she's breaking on down, tearing those walls down. And I know that she's opening up space, making space for other women to come behind her. And so we are excited. So I want you to take a moment to get settled, get quiet, even if you're driving home from work or you came across the live tonight. It's not by happenstance. Something that will be said, something will be said that you can take away, that you can glean from, that you can lean into, and that you can apply it to your life so that you can stay in the flow. And that's to fearlessly level up, overcome, and win in your life. And so, without further ado, Lady T is going to share with us a little more about, or a little bit about, our special guest who is returning with us tonight. Take it away, Lady T.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight Dr. Joanne Frederick, also known as Dr. J. Meet Dr. Joanne Frederick, first runner-up for Miss Corporate America Maryland 2025. Dr. Joanne Frederick, affectionately known as Dr. J, is a trailblazing mental health advocate, educator, and philanthropist. As the CEO and lead consultant at JFL and Associates Counseling Services, she is committed to empowering individuals and couples to thrive in their personal relationships. So if you need therapy, you know where to go. Now, though, Dr. J has added something else into her repertoire, and she is now the first runner-up of Miss Corporate America Maryland, as well as the winner of the Flawless Photo Award. So let's welcome Dr. J.
Woo!
Yay.
Hey, Dr. J, welcome back.
Hey. Thank you, ladies, for having me back.
Yes, look, we must have had so much fun when you were here the last time.
We
were
had
like,
a good time.
we did. You are out here just blazing the trail and doing so much. We shared your bio the last time, and I think every opportunity it's just for us to get better and better. That was what in Q1, because we just turned the page to Q2, and so we're already in 2025. And when you were here last, we talked about breaking barriers and thriving in 2025. I just said, look, today's part 2.
Yes.
We're gonna flow with it, right? And so, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
How are you feeling about you're going to share with us your journey, but with it just being the first month of the second quarter of the year, you are starting your 2025, I'm going to say definitely thriving, and you are on fire. And so I think sometimes, I know for me, when things happen or you hit a goal, you keep going to the next thing, but to take the time to pause and to congratulate yourself and to be appreciative, that attitude of gratitude we talked about, of the wins. And so you sitting in this moment as the runner-up, just share a little bit about your journey and how it what does this mean for you now, all of those things.
Yeah, well, once again, thank you both for having me here again. This was fun. We're about to have fun again. So this journey, something you just said still is true. We're just sitting in it like, dang, I did this. So I'm still kind of like doing that. And so opportunities like this, where I get the chance to talk about the journey, reminds me like this is the time to like sit and really reflect and congratulate myself. It's nothing. So basically, Miss Corporate America Maryland was a pageant. It was a competition. It's nothing that I ever thought I would do, even though I like the idea. And to be honest with you, I think over the summer, I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was watching television, and they had the Miss Texas competition. And the woman who won, well, first of all, what I liked, because it was Texas. The women were all different sizes, different shapes, different complexions. And I was like, whoa, this is a beauty pageant to me. And so the winner was actually the first immigrant to win a pageant in Texas. And I think her family's from Ghana. And she was absolutely beautiful. And that kind of made me like, hey, I wouldn't mind doing this one day. So when this opportunity came up, I was like, oh, sure, let me do this. But also in retrospect, she ran for Miss America and she also came in first runner up. So I'm like, wow, my journey kind of reflects hers, including family from, another country. I'm first generation American. And so there's a lot of reflection on my journey, different parts, so that was kind of an inspirational part. But then there were the parts of actually preparing, actually meeting the other contestants, the other bright women, very diverse in terms of race and also the types of businesses that we all do, the networking and everything else that came after that. Like it was absolutely a beautiful journey to continue to reflect on. Mm.
Yeah, that's good. You listen, when you said that, I was thinking about the power of our words and just taking the time to imagine, to dream again, and to, what is it, the imagination, like you said, when you were in Texas, and when you saw that, it was like, wait a minute, you saw yourself in that space, and here you go, in the same flow or similar flow, and but you had to see yourself there before you actually got there.
Yeah. And also, I didn't know a pageant would be coming up that I would be in or that I would be interested in. Had no clue. Right. But the man above knew. And thus, I think that there was this preparation that I had no clue of. Because the preparation was the work that I already do. But now, how do you package all that you do into a brand, into you, and also present that on stage in front of lots of people, along with the attire, along with judges and people. Like it was all a very amazing experience.
Wow. So what you were doing, if I'm hearing you correctly, already in your work every day tied into this, it was already preparing you for what you didn't even know was coming about. And what that says to me is that how many times do we think so deep into what's my purpose or what am I supposed to be doing? And instead of just being, right?
Yeah.
Be clear. One thing on my journey that I've learned and I'm learning is that once I get clear, God is going to do whatever He's going to do anyway, right? But He wants me to get and wants us to get clear on what we really want.
Yes.
And once you got clear on that and you saw a picture of that, you began to move in it, and He created an opportunity, the open door that you did not know was coming. Okay.
Exactly. And literally a stage, literally a platform of all that I was doing. Now, what it has done is amplified my voice in terms of what I do. And what I do is the mental health awareness in every angle you can think of. Something else you just said in terms of like, people's purpose, right? A lot of people ask, what is my purpose? Well, I always say, what are you doing? Because your purpose is in the here and now. You might be doing things, helping people in ways that you're helping, or you don't even know. And we still question, well, what is my purpose? When you're really probably walking in your purpose.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Go ahead, Lady T.
I just wanted to kind of double back. The one thing that she said was that there was preparation happening in the background that she wasn't aware of. And how many times do we question what our next step is or what our next steps are, or we don't know where we're going or all the things, only for the Lord to reveal that everything we've experienced, every opportunity that we've had previously literally was preparing us or in preparation for this thing or this opportunity that we never even imagined ourselves participating in. I think that's
Yep.
just so powerful.
Yep.
So don't ever count yourself out, because you didn't count yourself out. That's how you were able to literally take charge and walk in your authority on that
Yeah.
stage.
Yep. And the other thing too that's really key is I always said throughout the journey that God sent his angels to me. Every little thing that I was looking for or needed. So the first thing is when I knew I was going to do this and I got accepted, I'm like, okay, I never been in a pageant. I don't know what to do. So let me look for somebody who can help me. And sure enough, I called a friend who called a friend. She said, I got the exact person for you. And I've been working with this young lady. And then she was like, oh, I got somebody else for you. She called this other young lady. Her name happened to be, Lady T, who does some things, with the pen. Like there was a whole team of people that was good as what they do that got me to that win. And that also includes a nutritionist, a person who is a boxing coach. So physically, I had to get in order. I was already on that path, but this kind of just took it to another level. And so it wasn't just me, it was a team of people. And I tell people there is nothing that we should do alone or we can do alone. It takes other people to make it happen.
Ooh, she came in here with listen. That's so good.
It is.
That when we're the preparation, so we have to get focused on our focus, being a good steward of the work that we've been assigned to do, which you was already doing. Then the packaging, you talked about the packaging. God put that together, right? And you already, take pride in how you show up and all of those things. Yes. But then once he opens the door and create the opportunity, because you're stewarding well, which what's in your hands. Now he gives you, opens the door and sends his angels, right? The right connections, the right resources, the right support systems, the divine connections that will help you get to where you need to be. Because you can't, and we can't do it alone.
Yep, pretty much. And I'm talking every step of the way. And those were the big things I mentioned. Even people donated, people voted, people called me an encouraging word. I even had a friend of mine tell me, oh, you know what? I don't like how that tie looks. You need to tie it a different way. And a silver belt would look great. And sure enough, that's just an example of me showing up, how I look. And everything was set the right way. But what it also took was me listening. And I'm using that as an example because we people, we think we know everything, right? But we don't. We don't know everything. Everything is not in our willpower. Everything is not in our expertise.
Yes.
And we have to listen to other people. So I remember like, okay, I'm going to just do this because I'm going to just do it. I'm going to let go and let God. That's what I actually told myself. And I tell people when I'm working with people in terms of therapy, like when they are running in circles and fighting things, let it go. But when we let it go and we just go with the flow, trust the process, that's when we learn and grow. And this was an area that I just grew in to the point that I can help other women be leaders in their field and come on stage and have a brand and leadership and share their gifts.
Wow. So was there a time, if I hear you saying, trust the process, let it go, let God.
Yes.
And listening. I was literally just talking to a friend today about how important it is to listen with our, with our heart and not our head. Because sometimes when you know or you think or if you're educated or, those things, sometimes you can kind of step ahead of yourself and you do not practice what you know is the right and proper thing to do, but that listening, that active listening. And so it's so important for us to do that, because if these people have been placed in your way and in your space for this purpose to support you, we also have to surrender and to give them the opportunity to do what they've showed up to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we
Yeah.
don't know it all. Monet, you don't know it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have to literally keep telling myself in the moment. And so was there any time in the process where you were like, okay, maybe you had to talk to yourself, say, okay, Dr. J, okay, Joanne, release this. Was there any time in that process where you're like, okay, maybe those questions came to mind, or was it I'm a little bit I'm far in what do they say over my head, or you kind of just flow?
Yeah, definitely. Those times were times when, like, okay, so here was one the day of having to learn this routine, right? The opening act. And I was like, I can't learn this in a couple of hours. Like, I need to practice. This is not how I learn. But then I had to remind myself it's just an opening act. This is not the judge, right? This is not what I'm getting judged on. So just do your best, have fun. So I had to kind of talk myself into that. Another thing too was even coming on stage. Okay, so this was fun, but this is what is anxiety. I can talk about anxiety. I specialize in treating it. But it doesn't mean that I don't get anxious, right? I'm just, throwing that out there for the listeners. I remember the first time I was coming around the stage, and I guess the audience can see me before I saw them, and they started yelling and screaming the excitement. It was lights, camera, people. I'm like, oh my God. And so when I got on the stage, all of this was already going on, and I was like, oh my God, how can I talk? How can I perform? And I told myself, Joanne, calm down. Just take it easy. Just do your thing, because it was a walk. It was an attitude. It was confidence. It was all of that. And I did it. And then I also have to, remind myself to breathe, right? You've heard the experts say to breathe. I tell people when you're crying, don't hold your breath. Breathe through it.
Yeah.
I had to remind myself on stage, breathe. It's okay. So those were the little moments on that day that I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Literally in the moment, coaching yourself through, or being presently taking the tips that those who maybe coached you, so supported you, told you to, utilize maybe off the scene, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So in this process, you are now you're here. What is the what does this mean to be the runner-up? I think the question that I had before is to tell me a little bit more about what that first what was it called? Did you just say it?
First runner-up and most photogenic? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first runner-up, but you said that you had to do the what was the walk or the thing that you just
practice the walk, the talk, and just kind of running in front of the judges. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got you. So the title that you hold now, what is this? What does this mean for you? What is the duties and the functions that come with that?
Okay, so interesting. So now I hold two titles. I'm still Miss Prince George's County 2025 Corporate America. So what that means is I'm still servicing the community with mental health things and reading to children and showing up for different events and speaking about my platform, mental health, and really encouraging women who want to be in businesses or who are in businesses, but also teaching them things that I know and networking for PG County. And of course, for me now, this is outside of PG County. It's even in other states. So that's one title. But the first runner-up title to Miss Corporate America, Maryland. So what that means is my role is to support the winner. Her name is Sierra Morgan, and she's preparing to do the competition in Florida. And so my role is, if she couldn't fulfill it for some reason, that I would take over. But what I am doing also is I am going to the competition to support her and all the other women and network and that kind of thing as well. So that's what it means, those two roles, what that means for me. It also means that I'm still in a network of sisterhood with the other women that was in the competition. So we had Miss Baltimore County, Miss Baltimore City, Towson, Frederick, Maryland. We had other women from representing different counties within Maryland, and we're still in touch, actually.
Awesome. So now you have an added sisterhood and community of
Yeah,
ladies that you have built a rapport and relationship with.
definitely, definitely.
How important for all the hats that you wear
Mhm.
and the spaces that you have to show up in? How important is that added support or community?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, of all the hats and roles that I have, there's one that's the most important to me. Well, two, but really one. The one is mother. That's the one that like I like being a mother, raising kids, like it's amazing. And then I'm a daughter, so that's the second role. But your question was how important I think like sisterhood is in terms of community, right? So
Yeah.
one of the things is I don't have any biological sisters. So growing up, I just have one brother. He's older than me, Jason. And growing up, I didn't understand how come he have a sister and I don't. That's not fair. So my parents and he would be like, "Okay, you don't understand. You are the sister that he have. He doesn't have a brother, but you do." And I just couldn't understand. And I wanted like, okay, why I can't have a sister? My parents have lots of sisters. Everybody I know. So I was always drawn to like sisterhood. And
Mhm.
so I'm in a couple of women ran and led organizations, sororities, and then this network of sisterhood. I can see how I showed up as a person who value sisterhood,
Mm.
and so that's it. So it's very important to me.
Yeah.
Even when I went to college and I had a roommate, and I remember like we would talk about stuff, and I would be like, "Is this what it's like to have a sister?" And she's like, "No, this is not what it's like. I got a sister. We fight. We this. We." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So of course, I learned that even in sisterhood, there's conflict, but what's important is how you maneuver through the conflict, and that's part of the community, part of sisterhood.
That's good. When you're meeting someone, and I wanted to kind of dig into this because we're in a time where so much is going on. And I know you're in mental health and so many other things, but some people are out there feeling like they're alone.
Yes,
Like they don't know. We talked about this a little bit the last time, how to even approach a community.
yes,
They have people around them, but they're still alone.
yep,
But they don't know how to cope with it. They don't know how to navigate that word navigated. And
yes,
so for you, you just shared that, hey, I didn't have a sister. So these opportunities, when you give space and kind of get out of your comfort zone,
hmm,
step into these opportunities to network and connect, you open yourself up to that.
hmm.
What would you, or what would be some tips, or how would you kind of coach a person who may be in that space? I might be one who I am alone. I don't have a village. I don't have a
Hmm.
sisterhood, a brotherhood, no kind of
Hmm.
hood,
Yep.
to kind of connect to.
Hmm.
But B, I might be a person in a family, or I have people around me, but I'm still feeling like I'm alone. What
Yes.
would be some things that you would share?
Yeah. So I want to approach that question two ways. One, the person internally, and us as the community. What are our duties to help that person? So
Mm,
one of the things, first of all, is this alone feeling. It's internal. So we could be in a crowded room with people and feel alone. And many times that feeling is depression. I'll label it,
mhm,
and we all get depressed, right? And so that's normal and that is okay. But when it comes to depression, many times we need to help somebody else out of it. So I'm gonna go back to this person who feels alone. Well, when we see that, because sometimes we can see it, or sometimes we need to ask somebody, how do you feel? How did you feel over the weekend? And
mhm,
listen to when people say, I was bored, I felt lonely, I felt like I don't have any friends. And we need to do something about that.
mhm.
Explore more with that person. Like, I heard you say you felt lonely. What does that mean? What did that feel like? And we got to be able to listen. Listening is when we hear someone without interrupting them and without jumping in to share our story. But we also listen by what we see. We listen by what the person is not talking about. So, as a community, it's our duty also to listen to this person and help them out. And so, after we listen, we can offer what we think we heard. So, they may say, nobody invited me anywhere. I don't get the invitations. I'm the last person. Well, keep them on your list to invite somewhere, do something with them. Matter of fact, this week, I sent out a message on social media, which was something like to text and call the people that you haven't heard from in a while. Because to your point is that like a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people have lost their jobs. People are afraid of what next. And so everybody kind of like retreat a little bit. I noticed that.
Yeah.
And so it's up to us to also one day out of the week, a Saturday, send a text, call somebody. And so this person that we started with is a reminder that this person is not alone. We are also in their view. And then we can also help them like, hey, look, I think you need more than just talking about it or just staying in your room. I actually think you need professional help.
Mm.
And if you've had professional help any type, it's good to share your story because that's how you encourage someone else. You tell them, hey, look, I had to get help. I had to talk to my pastor. I had to get a therapist. I had to talk to my supervisor. Like I really needed assistance.
Oh, that you gave us a lot of different tips. Try to capture them here. So stepping out of sometimes how we can resolve what we're going through is to help someone else. Reach out. You said text, call, connect with an expert, help sharing
Mhm.
your story. I think definitely that sharing your story or coming out of just internalizing it is healing.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
It's healing
Yes.
Hmm.
because sometimes we think that we're the only ones who are going through it. But when you realize that, oh, and you start to share or kind of open up,
Yes.
it's like, wow, why was I doing this all alone all the time? And
Yes.
so relationship is so important for you. You said sisterhood. For those viewers out there today, think about what is it that you need? What do you need to help
Hmm.
you stay in the flow? And I think it's also in community, there's accountability.
Mhm.
Yes.
There's accountability. Some people they want people to be accountable to them, but they
Hmm.
don't want to be the one held accountable.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, can we talk about, well, you tell me because you're the expert. Is it
So they
possible?
say.
Huh?
So they say. I don't
Right.
know.
So, is it possible that fear can be also a factor in keeping someone reserved or locked into themselves?
Yes. I
Hmm.
think fear
I'm
would
saying that
hold
right.
you back from doing what you want. But here's another factor I throw in. Introverts. Everyone are not extroverts. I think I'm
Hello.
an extrovert. I get my drive being around people, talking, connecting, and having a good time. But that's my personality. Everybody
Hmm.
isn't. So there are people that are introverted. They will sit quiet. They listening. They learning. They taking it in. And people read that the wrong way, as in like,
Yes.
oh, they don't want to talk. They better than they. But it's
Yes,
also a
Jesus.
personality, and that's okay.
Or as if they don't have anything to say. But you know what, Dr. J, what I realize is that, so I don't know if people don't believe me, but I believe I'm an introvert.
What? Come on now. I knew you wasn't gonna go there and say that. You're an introvert.
When I tell you, I am so good by myself, quiet. I think it really depends on what the environment is,
Mhm.
what the task or responsibility I have. I can step up and be vocal, but I'd rather just be reserved and quiet. But no one believes me. I just think
Mhm.
it depends. And I think, yeah, it depends on what it is that I have, how I have to show up. So I can be on either spectrum, But when I am out, like, so here's sister to sister, right? We're in the flow. But when I step away, I need that time to kind of reboot, or kind of that quiet time, downtime, then go back out again. And so if it's a speaking engagement, if it's, we just held Elevate You 2025, different things, I'll be shut down because I have to fill it back up again. But yes, I'm on that spectrum. So it's really also getting down to knowing who you are, if that's what you're saying.
Yes, pretty much. Who you are, how you function, and accepting that though. Because when people start talking about it or complaining, that's kind of when folks think, well, oh, I need to change, or I need to do this, and but accepting who you are, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'll also throw in there emotional intelligence.
Come on.
Knowing how to read the room and when to read the room. So if I'm an extrovert or someone's an extrovert, and you coming in all like, yeah, everybody, and that's not the space, the place, and the energy, you got to be able to relax, take it easy. But also, people's anxiety make them say a lot of things inappropriately or the wrong thing and do things. So we're back to that anxiety and that fear that makes people act a certain way.
You are so on it, because this factor of emotional intelligence is so important. And some people just don't, like you said, they don't know how to utilize it, how to, show up, how to read the room. When do I go in? When do I step off? When do I, how am I to, is it best for me to respond now, or maybe hold my thoughts to another time when they cool down, or when I cool down? And I was literally just having a conversation with my mom the other day, and I said, in this season, have you ever been in a communication with someone who just a fast talker? They talk fast. And what we were talking about yesterday is that when people are fast talkers, I'm in a season, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting closer to 40 or what, but it's I don't have time for this. Can you just kind of just talk and let's communicate? Don't come to me, approach me fast talking, because then I'm feeling like you trying to get over, you trying to what's going on? Don't fast talk to me. No, let's just have a conversation and talk about it. I don't have time for all this other, stuff. And so sometimes is it that they're trying to hide, or maybe perhaps they're not confident. Maybe it's a lack of confidence or something. But that's some stuff that I've been, thinking about. And maybe it could be connected to the emotional intelligence, but so many things. But I think sometimes people do not take the time to realize how they're coming off to other people.
Yes. How does their behaviors impact
other people? And you probably say, how we get to this conversation? We even came from community and sisterhood. But I think it's also important as you are assessing, I think this is a pivotal time as we're in Q2 now, is when you're assessing your relationships, your effectiveness. I always say evaluate, activate, so you can elevate. And when you're taking that time to assess, taking that inward look, if you are one you're looking for community, or you want to connect, you have to know, how do you relate? What are your interpersonal skills? Is it a lack, or do you have them? Do you need to brush up on them? Develop them. We don't even really see how we connect or how we come off or approach other people, or even take the time to ask them for feedback.
Yes, because many times we're busy assessing other people, meaning talking about, oh, she did this, said that, or what, but we're not looking at ourselves first. How did our behavior have an impact on what that person said or did?
Absolutely. And I think it ties back into that preparation and packaging. If we're not aware, self-awareness is a step and phase of emotional intelligence. Being aware of yourself,
It's
right?
so important.
Mm-hmm.
Being aware of what's going in your environment, in your environment.
Yes.
And then the next phase is seeing how it connects, how it's landing on other people. And
Mm-hmm.
then you from there make your decision on how you are going to show up, or
Yeah.
what's the next steps,
Yeah.
respond. So I think all of those things are so important as we're talking about community, and when opportunities come, such as the one that opened up for you,
Mm-hmm.
we have to be aware and do this work, this inner work, so we can be prepared to walk through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think it all relates to something you were talking about earlier too, which was the climate we're living in, the political climate that we're
Mm,
living in. Like, what do we do? How do we continue to excel? And the world is falling apart, or so it seems. Like, how do you do that? And we have to continue to live.
yeah. And we
Hmm.
clearly see that there's a lack of emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
or intelligence, period. But
Yeah.
um but we're grateful, and we see and we're aware. Um
Mhm. We are survivors.
and we are surviving, and we are going beyond just a surviving. But I don't know about you,
We
but
was.
I'm in a season where I just can't get by to get by.
Hmm.
I have to thrive.
Hmm.
I
We
don't want to
resilient.
wear a mask, or just, like I said, get through to get through. No. And if it's something that I need to work on, let me pull back that layer, face
Hmm.
it head on, and let's go. Because I want to be the best version of myself.
Hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, and so as we are, I don't know about you, but that was good to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so good. So as you're navigating now, what is the next phase for you? It seems like
Hmm.
you're going to be serving, showing up when needed. Service, I believe, is so important.
Yeah.
And it helps us to stay on this continual journey of helping others, um,
Hmm.
and not, I guess, staying stuck in what's showing up for us,
Hmm.
right? Not
Yeah.
forgetting ourselves, but at the same time being able to serve even when we have things that's showing up in our lives. So
Hmm.
what is the next phase for you? What other things
Yeah.
that you have going on now?
Yeah. I asked myself that same question. So I got a couple of next for me. So one, I wrote. Well, I was a co-author of anthology, a book that's an anthology called Copeology. But
Yes.
what has happened, and I wanted to do this, but it definitely kicked it off to write Copeology 2. And Copeology 2 is going to be dealing with substance and process addictions. A lot of
Mm,
people are not aware of what that is and how it looks, but a process addiction, because you've heard of substance addictions,
yep.
but the process are the stuff that people are addicted to, like technology, pornography,
Mm,
masturbation, exercising, eating, that kind of thing. So I want to write about that just
mm,
to help people be aware and
mhm.
also understand that you can't tell a person stop drinking alcohol. It's killing you. It doesn't work that way. It's an
Right.
addiction and it's a brain chemistry thing. So that's one thing, right, in Copeology too. The second thing is using my voice and on a larger platform. So, for example, I'll be on 88.9, which is WEAA, once a
Awesome.
month to talk about mental health stuff. So I'm on radio now. So that's a larger audience that I can reach, talk about, and help in the way that I can. Another next step for me. So this is interesting. I'm thinking about running in another pageant.
Okay.
But there's one that I'm looking at. It's going to be over Labor Day weekend. But what I would like to do is go and watch it. I would like to be in the audience of a pageant and see what that experience is like. What do I see? What does that feel like? And
Mm-hmm.
probably do it next year. So that's something that's on my mind because I just love the thrill of it. And here's what's really more important. This whole journey was self care for me. And The self-care allowed me to survive so far with all the changes that's going on, in the
Mhm.
world, from DEI to this to that, tariffs, all that stuff. It was really helpful because I'm in an industry that I take on a lot of that. First of all, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, and then I also am a therapist. I am a professor, and then I also co-chair a department. So there's a lot of people that I have to take care of, but I have to take care of me first. And
Yeah.
so this journey has allowed me to do me, but at the same time, I'm still giving. And so those are the what's next for me.
I love it
Yeah.
because one thing, even with my therapist, as we've been talking, is that you have to, what are you going to do? It's one thing to talk about what you're doing, right? And in order to get to a space of mastery and the thrive, I call it thrivitude, right? When you're thriving, um, is how are you going to sustain and maintain? So you got here, but how do you sustain and maintain this? And so in order to do that, you have to be intentional about you.
Yes,
If you know that you are a woman who leads, that you wear these hats, you're in the community, you're in ministry, you're in all of these different spaces, you cannot forget about the space, your space.
yes.
What space are you creating for yourself? So if
Mhm.
that means that my day starts at 8 a.m. for work, I have to be there, then maybe I have to get up at 4 or 5 just to make sure I fit in whatever I need. Or
Yes,
maybe, like we talked about, okay, what does Monet need? Maybe I need a dance break in the middle of the day, turn the music
yes,
up and kind of, go for it. Maybe you need meditation. Maybe you need to get up and just walk. But start your day with exercise, or in your day with exercise,
yes,
eating right, what they call it, when you're have a nutritionist,
yep.
whatever it is. But I
Hmm.
think that self-care is absolutely important.
Definitely. The people that's on my team that I call, they said, okay, so now that you won, because they see it like I won, I need you to continue eating the way you were eating, drinking the water,
Yeah.
going to the boxing gym. I need you to continue to get your facials, continue to go to the spa. And I'm like, oh, I got to continue that. They're like, yes, like this is for you. And I'm like, yeah, I know it is. And so it's a reminder. Again, like you said, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I open my eyes and like thank God for like, well,
Yeah.
dang, I'm in my right mind, like, and I'm in my home and I'm at peace and all of that. And then I drink water
And
and
mind your
really
business,
taste it
right?
and let it, soak in the body. Like, wow, this is refreshing. And
Yeah.
then many times I go to the gym
Yeah.
and then come back and start the day. But I'm gonna tell you something that's really important that helps me is I take off my phone throughout the day and all
Listen.
technology. So the phone, I will take that off for an hour, and I even time myself. Because I don't know about you all, but me, I tend to want to be picking up every second, scrolling something, and I'm like, that's not normal. That's not okay. So I take it off and put it down. I think more clearly. I come up with decisions. I do other stuff because sometimes I work from home, and
Yeah.
then I'll turn it back on and check to see did I miss anything. And guess what? I didn't miss nothing. It ain't like there was an emergency because we tell ourselves that. I keep
Yes.
my phone next to me in case there's an emergency. What emergency?
Listen, that is so key, and that has been a plus for me and has helped me, Dr. J. So you hit it on the nail. So
Yes,
I have two phones, and one of them, um, the iPhone, everyone doesn't have access to that. But the number that I've had for a long time, that good old
mhm,
Android, one thing that I've done is put it on silent.
yes,
And it's been on silent so long that I went to try to take it off silent, and it won't even I can't even find the button. I think God is like, nope, daughter, no. But it has been such a blessing for me because I was going through a period of all those chimes and all of
Mhm.
that with the sensory when you're, when everything, when you're, it's almost like sometimes you can anticipate a ding getting ready to go off when it's so much. And
Mhm.
so I was reading the book, oh goodness, it was on rest. And oh goodness, Dr. Sandra, I forget her last name, but she was talking about cutting off of your device, silencing them, and it will help with your sensory rest. And oh my goodness, it has been such a blessing and has
Yes.
made a difference. So now, like I said, the phone won't even change off, but that is a tip that somebody, y'all need to write that down, because those things are, it's distractions. It can just
Yes.
come up and distract you. Like I went on, I think, Facebook just to make sure that things were connected for the post, but so quickly you can hear all these other chimes, and it takes you. And I told my mother, I said, nope, I'm getting off of here right now, because I only got on here to do one thing. But that technology is so important for us to unplug from devices, technology. You know what it is for you, even the computer,
Mhm.
laptop. Sometimes
Yes.
just, turn it
Yep.
off. So that's important. Absolutely.
Definitely. So those are all the self care stuff that I'm doing. And then I'm trying to think what else. I spend quality time with my people, from
Mhm.
kids to family to friends and to the sisters. And the quality time means that I remind myself, put that phone down.
Mm.
I try to spend time with people individually. So as a mother, I have 3 children. And I remind people that, each of your children are different people.
That's
So you
true.
can't be doing the same thing with everybody all the time and expect each person to react. You got to take your time and know each of them, what they like and how they talk to you, and when you get a chance to talk to them and listen and all of that good stuff. That's part of my quality time.
That's good.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that you're being present in the
Yeah.
present. You're totally being present.
In the here and now. So I'm gonna leave a couple tips about that. So
Yes.
when
Come on.
we're in the here and now,
Yeah.
things are good. And the here and now is really reflecting on where you are. And this is us. Where are you? Like, where are you? What space are you in? And what are you doing right now? We're in this talk show, sister to sister. We having a good time. It feels good. But when we start thinking about the past, I could have done this. I should have done this.
Mm.
That's depression, because it's the past. There's nothing we can do about that. And when we start thinking about the future, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I got to grocery shop, that's anxiety, because it's not there yet. And so we're kind of concerned.
Mm.
But whenever we try to focus and being in the here and now, that's a better space. So that also can look like meditation. It can also look like prayer, and it can also look like mindfulness. Mindfulness is when we take in what's around us, right? You're going to be quiet, silent. What do you hear? If you look around in your space, what do you see? What do you taste? What do you feel? That's mindfulness. But all of that is in the here and now, and where
Mm.
we need to be more often, especially the times we live in.
Mm.
Being in the space of where we are here now versus anxiety. I'm concerned about tariffs. I'm concerned about prices going up. I'm concerned about, no, here and now. Where are you? Where are we?
That's good.
That's really good.
That's
That's
real,
really
real,
good.
real
Yeah.
good. And even how you broke it down, like when you're going into the future, that's anxiety. It can lead you into
Yes.
the realm of anxiety. Come on, y'all, take these tips down.
Mm.
Yes.
And so, oh, that's good. That's real. That's great. Um, I was ready for the. I didn't know if you had another one. I was ready for the next. I was ready
I
for the
mean,
next.
I do. In a nutshell, like, this is what I want and what I asked for: spaces and opportunities to share what I know. And I
Mm.
only know these things because, one, I studied it. But let me go back. Before I studied it, I lived it. So one of the platforms I talked about was, again, and I learned this from my journey: how do you take your pain and turn it into a platform? And my pain is mental health issues in the family. what I saw, what I knew, what I was trained, and then I got attracted to the field at 13, and I've been in the industry since because I know that mental health assistant work, and there's only three kinds. There's talk therapy, talk about your problems, what's going on. There's medication, when the doctor said or somebody say this is overboard, I'm prescribing you this. Take two of these and call me in the morning. Listen, it works. And then there's a combination of both. Some of us have to talk and take medication. And I know that it works
Ooh.
because I've seen it and I believe it. And that's why I use these opportunities as a platform to educate people, to educate my people, because the mental health stuff, the awareness can help us survive.
That's so good. That's so I know I'm saying like that's so good, but no, it really like it is good because I'm just taking it in while you saying it because some people, and as we're wrapping up, but some people you said that you talk, but you also take your medicine.
Yes,
Right?
and that's okay.
Some people be like, well, I'm taking this medicine, it's making me another person. Maybe it's the person you need to be. I don't know, but like I don't know. But that goes back to knowing how you function, knowing what you need, when you need it, how you need it, all of those different things. So it's okay.
It is okay. If you want to function your best, it's okay. I tell people that you may look at somebody on television, I don't know, and be like, wow, they're so good. Do you know what medication they take and what they're on? And that's why they're so good. Many people self-medicate, and that's when we want to consume alcohol. We want to smoke marijuana, say that it relaxes me and it makes me creative. Okay, that's cool. That's self-medication. But if you could have somebody monitor it, because now, you can get prescription for different types of substances, that's a better route.
Yeah. It's levels to it. We want you to be on the up and up side of it. But the point is that get what you need. When you watch these podcasts and all these other things, and you hear the stories behind the stories that people are on, and you see this personality, because that's what it is, right? Functioning, but that's what they're doing that. But who said they didn't have any help that help them maintain or do what they're doing? And so
that part.
Look, wellness is important. Self-care is important. And you want to be well, mind, body, spirit, and soul in every aspect. This has been just so beautiful having this conversation with you, Dr. J, today.
Yes.
And you talked about Copeology and those things, but one thing that just stuck out to me is that you've been prepared. Every season of your life has prepared you for every door and opportunity that God is opening for you now.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you for daring to show up and say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And it ain't easy.
It's not. But when you show up authentically, and even before we started the live today, what I said is that you can show up in these spaces. Yes, you can, practice and all that. But when you show up as your authentic self, you're equipped for this moment.
Yes.
Everything you need was already inside of you.
Yes. I got one more example about the authentic moment. I believe in prayer. Matter of fact, in Copeology, my chapter is the power of prayer. How I taught my youngest son to believe in prayer. Something just happened and it worked. And so with the competition, before we started, I was like, okay, Joanne, what do you do? What do you need? And I was like, honestly, I pray. And I was like, okay, I don't know who's a believer or who's not. I don't want to offend no one. So I said, are there any believers here? And the young ladies, all of them that could, said, yeah, I am. We had made a circle, we held hands, and I prayed. I didn't know it was being recorded. And so there is a video. And when I heard it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I said that. And it was amazing. I prayed for the show. I prayed for each person's business. And most importantly, I prayed for us to touch somebody's life in the audience, even though they came for, a competition and cheer on their person, but somebody's story may have healed or began the healing process for someone. So I want to share that video with you all when we get offline, because I just thought it was amazing that that was captured. And because I wasn't trying to be on video, I was just being what you just said, my authentic self.
Wow. What are you doing for those who are watching today? What are you doing? How are you showing up authentically? What does your authentic self look like? Do you revert to, do you pray? Do you support? Or are you murmuring and complaining? What does your authentic self look like? Do you need support? We've talked about so many different things today. Do you need to take a moment for self-care? Are you self-aware or are you self-absorbed? Where do you rest? Where are you on that spectrum? We don't want you to, Dr. J, she talks about Copeology, and that's really how to navigate all of these ebbs and flows in life. Do you need support of a network? Do you need support of a expert? You have one right here who can support you. Lived experience, and that's what I was going to say, is what stood out for me as you were talking about. Lived experience has been the preparation for the platform, has been the preparation for your purpose, has brought you to these purpose moments. You are already in your purpose, but it takes you from one level to the next, from one door to the next. And so today, ladies and gentlemen, our audience, those who are listening today, what are you doing right now? Perhaps in this season, you're trying to figure out, what is my now, right? Before you get to the next, because we don't want to get to the anxiety part, but we want to, are you clear on where you are now and what you want right now?
Yes.
If you're not clear, we offer you this opportunity to sit down. Stop being just so busy. Busybody, moving from one thing to the next. Because look, I can talk about it because I know about it. But those moments of sitting down and being still, it offers us an opportunity to get real clear.
Yes.
About who we are, where we are, and what we need to do, where we need to go. And so today, wow, how do you thrive in 2025? How do you break barriers? How do you walk into these doors and on platforms with confidence, clarity, and authority? It's in these quiet moments where you do the inner work, where you say yes instead of doing what's easy and sitting down or falling back, but you choose to lean into it. So those are the things that's showing up for me. And so I want to challenge you all that you just didn't tune in tonight or listen to the replay by happen chance, but it's something in you that needs to turn over. It's something in you that needs to make a pivot, needs to make a shift. Now is your time. Now is your space. Now is the opportunity. Guess what? I'm here to confirm and affirm that you have everything you need in you to make the power move. We have Dr. J, who's clearly doing it right now. And we are super excited that she has taken more time to come and share about her journey. And hopefully it has resonated and helped you to take that extra step and take that extra push to make a move, not just a move, but a power move, and to execute, because there's somebody waiting on you. Ladies, you have any final words, Lady T or Dr. J, as we're closing out tonight?
Oh, I don't. You can go ahead, Dr. J.
Okay. Well, just how people could support me or if they need more information. So one, if you need therapy, you're not ready, we created Copeology for people to be able to afford it and have some privacy and kind of learn and grow. So purchase Copeology. It's about $20. You can purchase it through me or Amazon. That's one. The other thing is I engage in a lot of speaking engagements, talking to groups of people, and even running groups on all the topics we just spoke about. If you have an interest in that, reach out. And then the other thing too is I'm a therapist. So if you're looking for a therapist, and we don't have any connection, no relationship, I could work with you as well. And those are the ways to get in touch. I'm available on, social media. I have a website, www.jflcounseling.org, and everything is on there.
Now, and if you can take a moment to drop it in the chat or drop it in, or even as we close out, you can drop it in the chats, Dr. J, so people can see it. Then we will also make sure it's displayed so they can get your information. Look, everybody, here at Sister to Sister, we take away all excuses. We're eliminating all excuses. Nothing to it but to do it. When they say get out of your own way, today is your day. Get out of your own way. And so I want to share, absolutely, this is awesome, how you can connect with Dr. J again. Here is her information, and her website is here. And also, okay, we have two, right?
Yeah, I put 3 things
all here because we taking away all excuses, everybody. And so you definitely want to connect with her, email as well as website. But we thank you. We thank you for your journey. Oh, we're gonna have to definitely stay connected and get the more of how you are progressing. And if there's ways that we can support, continually support, you'll let us know as well.
Will.
Yes, I know you absolutely will. And also grab your book, Copeology. Look, we are going to be looking for the second book. We're going to be definitely looking for it. I'm going to drop it here, the link, if you want to go and grab your copy off of Amazon, you can definitely do so. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. We are so grateful for the journey of Dr. J and for her taking time to come and share with us today. And we look forward to staying connected. We'll be back here, unless it's another shift. We'll be back here Monday at 7 p.m. to go higher and higher. Again, you all stay in the flow. Fearlessly level up, overcome, and win. Take care, take charge, and God bless you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.